Welcome to Trading Lounge and the Asian report for the 16th of December. So we're at a little bit of a tricky situation here. We just need to be a little bit mindful, and I want to point that out. So we always know that number 8 is a profit-taking number here, so we can expect the market to move up to 8 here, and then, well, it could fail from this point, or it could end up having the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, and then a corrective pattern here, and then a move up from that point. So, or otherwise we move down here. So obviously this is driven by the sectors. So let's have a look at the sectors. So this is a mining sector here. This is a daily chart, the XMD. So this particular move down through here, it's a little bit tricky to sort of see, but if we look at it on the XMJ, for instance, here, we can look at it in 5 waves of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. So that makes it an impulse wave. I do believe that this is actually a corrective wave here, and then another move down here. So it's possible that this is an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave here, and then we're building higher through here. So these moves up here can be counted as 1 and 2 here, and 3. Let me just, that's come down quite a lot here. Let me just check that with the XMD. Yeah, this just gives a better presentation here. So this move down through here, you know, when we looked at the XMJ, then it counts down as nice 5 waves. So this here can be an A wave and a B wave here, and a B wave in 3 waves. So an A and a B and a C wave up here, then down for 1, and then going back up for 2 to the 61.8% mark, and then coming down again here. So this, what I'm trying to point out here with the mining sector, is that the mining sectors are in a situation where they can also fail from here. This is the same with, well, run through BHP and Rio and so on. But once we get past this little point here, then we'll know where we are. I think it's bullish because the XMJ carries a little bit more weight, and this would be the same pattern as BHP. So the move down through here in 5 waves, and then the move up here in 3 waves. But it still can be an A wave here, a B wave here, and a C wave here. This will just have to be counted something like a 1 and 2 here and 3 here, and an A and a B and a C wave here for 4, and then going up here for 5 in terms of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, and finishing, you know, the 62% retracement level, whatever, maybe a bit higher, whatever. So these are all in places, the material sectors are in places where it can turn lower from this point. I think it's bullish, but I want to get past this point here, which would bring us back to the ASX being, you know, failing at this point here, and we'll have a little look at that at the 6-8 here, being brought down by the mining sector. If we have a look at the banking sector, the XXJ here, I'll just sort of squash this up. This is where we are here, and I've talked about this a few times here. So from the high here, we can look at this here. We could look at it bearish, or we could look at it bullish. So in terms of the bullish move, it would be an A wave here, a B wave back up here, and then we'd be looking for 5 waves down here. And the 5 waves counts as wave 1 here and wave 2 here, and then this is all the 3rd wave in here with 5 waves in it. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here for the 3rd wave in this little sequence here. So this would be a wave 4 here that can pull back to the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree here, or it can pull back to the 38.2%. So roughly it's already at that space there, the 38.2%. So it could move a bit higher in this space here. So an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave up here, and then another move down, which we're looking for it to move down into the 6,500. Yes, it could poke a little bit lower here. And, you know, as this finishes down here, this is indicative really of ANZ, WBC, Bendigo, those sort of banks where CBA is in a slightly different situation. So just have a look at CBA again here, just on the daily chart here. I feel that we're in a positive move for the banking sector. It's just that this Commonwealth Bank has held its ground and it's really stuck to the 80 here, and it's got really quite a nice triangle here. So we were looking down, it may be the A and the B and the C wave in here and finished here with the under here, or we've got an A and a B and a C wave to come down here further. But it is getting interesting for this here because once it finishes here and has a very clear support on top of the 80 here, we can go long in this all the way up to, you know, 88.90 in this one here. So we're just waiting for that setup. I thought I might have had it before, but wasn't the case. So, but we're going to go back and get that loss that we created on this. We're not finished with this. We're not going to let that loss scare us. So we're going to be moving back in on this pretty shortly. I just want to see a nice, you know, support on this level here, or a nice A, B and C wave here for this. And today it might pop up here a little bit or whatever, but we still want to see it, you know, tested on that support there. So this is a long trade that's setting up here. Okay, let's get back to the ASX200 here and drill in on this here. So I think it's, you know, I like to move with the evidence, and I don't know if this is wave 4 sitting here. It may not be. I know that we've got an impulse wave here, so I was looking for a corrective wave. I thought this may be it here, but it went for an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave here. So we can look at it as wave 1 and 2, or A and B here. And I can count 5 waves up in this little sequence here that will end at 6.8 here. So this is where we've got to be careful here. Yes, it can, you know, just continue to move straight up through here, but we can't, I don't know that. So we have to wait to something that I do know, or if you know something, that's great too. But for me, I need to wait for this to become support here. It's as simple as that. So if you're long here, I suggest exiting at 6.8. Let's just chill out here and let's just watch things like that triangle in CBA finish off and those sorts of things, okay? And then we can look at this here. Otherwise, we'll move down from here. So just drilling in here a little bit. I don't have the count on the hourly chart here. I've got it on the tick chart, so we'll just go to the tick chart here. But the idea is this here. We've been long here, and we're going to take profit at 6.8. Okay, so on the tick chart, just looking at that trend up here, I think I understand most of it is just, this is 100 ticks, by the way. So wave 1 is clear, ABC is clear here. What I'm not quite sure about is some stuff in here, but I'm counting it as 1 and 2 here and 3 here, an A wave here, a B wave here, and a C wave here for wave 4. And this is interesting here. This wave 4 here has got the same pattern here as this wave 4 here. So an A wave here, a B wave up to here, or really that A wave can come over to here too, not that it matters. And wave C coming down here. So in a nutshell, 1 and 2 and 3, ABC for 4 here, and then going up for 5. The 5th wave's a bit easy because we can look at this as 1 and 2 here and 3 here and 4 here, and then going up for 5 to finish off at the 6.8 here for this. But like I said, there's a bit in here that I don't quite understand, and yeah, so, but I'm pretty close onto it. Anyway, we should push up from here based on the US markets, the overnight markets being positive, and we'll see the cash market open, you know, in regard to that. Not a lot, but enough to sort of push it up a little bit. Right, so let's move on to Hong Kong. So Hong Kong, here's the 4-hour chart for Hong Kong here. We're looking at this possibly move up here as 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, or an A and a B and a C wave up here. I'm going to go with the impulse wave here because it's just so powerful here. And we'll look at this pulling back to a wave 4 here and then pushing up higher here. This is where it can also finish up here as well as a larger A wave, B wave and C wave. Now I'm unsure about this situation as well here, so all we need to do is just wait for the evidence. So what we'll do here is just wait for the classic trading levels pattern, the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, a corrective move here, and if we get support on this level again, we'll go long again. It's simple as that. But we'll just wait for that. We've had our little trade in here. We've still got our little trade in here. So we were long on this level here. So looking for that classic trading levels pattern here, which we got, and we've moved the stop up to here. We've taken a percentage in here somewhere, and we've still got some skin in the game. So we can chill out. We can just allow that to have a corrective move here, and it may be quite time consuming within all of this as well, and then a move up here. Can this whole thing be more positive than I've drawn out in terms of this ABC pattern moving up here? Possibly when we look at China, and I'm not that sure on China's count either, but it's remained positive. So I've been looking at this as wave 1 here and wave 2 here. This is definitely a corrective move here, or maybe there is 5 waves in here, but I've stayed on the positive side of it for all of this. So we'll just see if it keeps on climbing up here for this. And otherwise we've got a much bigger positive move coming in through here. Not that we're trading the A50 here, but just as a bit of a guide stick here. It's been going well. There's been a few sticky spots, and I don't know if these are 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. We need to see this market really move strongly from this point with some gaps in here and so on, if this is going to look like this. Otherwise it's otherwise we'll look at it as an ending pattern rather than a beginning pattern through here as well. And India at this stage here, so as you know, we'd been looking at wave 3 here, wave 4 here, finishing off for wave 5 up here, a little bit dodgy, and then looking at an A and a B and a C pulling back down to this space down here. So we should see further upside here. That's sort of how I see it. Obviously across the tops here we're going to get probably resistance in this area through here, but at the same time we'll be seeing new highs being made as well through here. So let's go in and have a look at this here. So just on the 1 hour chart here, this is where we're sitting at the moment. We've got a long trade right on the low here, one here, one here. Our stop is here, which we can move up now to, I'll just keep it to break even on this one here for the moment. I don't want to get stopped out because I know that there's more to go here. So yeah, so with this here, I'll just go to the tick chart. It's a little bit tricky to count here. So from the low here, I'm okay with 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here. I'm confident about that. I'm also confident that this has got further to go to the upside. Yes, we're at a level here, number 1. So we're in minor group 1. So we've got 100, 200, and 300 here. These all make up group 1. If we get support on top of 300, well then we'll go to 500. If it's going to fail, this is where it's going to fail from here at the 300 here. Could fail here, but we need to make new highs, so this is probably it here. So this is a critical point up here, and also another target area. So so from these 5 waves here, we can start counting this up here. I can count that this first one here is wave 1 here and 2 here. I can see that if I got some other little guys here, yeah, so they'll do. I can see that we've got, from this low here, we can go 1 and 2 here. It's probably, actually, I better do this properly. I can be a bit lazy. I think that's the Australian culture a little bit. It's not my fault. Okay. I got a 3 there, yep. So I think it's something like this, but I don't have any sort of evidence just yet of that. That's right, this one's... Okay, if we get support on top of this one here, which is like 10, 20 and 30, if we get support on 30 here, then we'll get to 50 here. Okay, same thing as group 1, 1, 2 and 3 of subgroup level. So it's probably something like this at my best shot. 1 and 2 here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for wave 1 and 2 here, 1 and 2 here, and 3 and 4 here, and we'll push up for 5 here, and then we'll have come back again to the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree for this guy here, so I'll bring him down a little bit lower here, and then up for wave 5 here, and that will make wave 3 here. 1, 2, 3. Might as well just copy this one more time here and put wave 4 across this level here, the 2, 2 here. Move that up there for there. We'll just copy that here again. We might as well just go through this. And 3 there, and 4 here, and wave 5 up here further. I think that's it, but we'll just keep that there as our plan, and let's just see how we go with that. But I mean, the bottom line is that it's not finished to the upside, and it's still got further to go. So we'll just stay there. We'll stay long there, and like I said, we just need to keep we don't want to get caught with our stop out. Okay, I don't want to get stopped out, but I will get it to break even. In fact, what I'll do is I'll just bring it down below this low in case anything happens. I've got enough locked in anyway. So, I mean, yeah, all good. Alrighty, thanks for tuning in. Much appreciated. Thanks for the support. Cheers.